So we have always seen the communication is not a one-way process. It's a two-way process. This is taken from PMI reference books. Communications occur internally and externally to the core project team, vertically up and down the levels of the organization, and horizontally among the peers. So make sure your planning includes communication in all of the following direction. Like if it is going to be customer, sponsor, functional managers and team members, and within the project team it is going to two ways. Other projects also it is going to be two ways, in the sense you will get the information from other projects, or you will pass on some from your projects the learning to other projects. And similarly for other project managers, in certain organization there is always a swapping between the project managers and also other stakeholders. So basically it is two-way process. The flow of the communication on a project, this is going to be a two-way process. Many people forget communications between project as if there were no other project that could be connected, take resource, create delays, or cause the problems on the project. Because we, and that too especially in IT projects, we can't work on silos. It's never been possible to work on silos. So we need to understand that communication is a two-way thing, and in an organization they rotate people, and so in a way you need to be connected to other projects and other with the stakeholders also to remain updated. In order to have clear concise communications, you need to handle communication in a structured way and choose the best type of communication for the situation. Information can be expressed in different ways. What are those? These are formal or informal, like written or verbal. What are formal and informal is like you're formally communicating, this is to inform so and so, etc., like with approvals, etc. Informal is you just casually communicate personally. Written or verbal, you need to decide what approach to use for each instance of communication. Make sure you understand the following chart, like what is the communication types and when it is used. Like for example, there is a formal written communication. You use it when there is a complex problems, project management plan has to be approved, your project charter and communication over long distance, it has to be for, and whenever there is a project charter it is like a contract, right? And extension of, because it's such an important document. Or whenever you're having a rate negotiation with the customer and you are saying, yeah, this is a finalized rate, that has to be a formal communication written. Then so that you have a proof, and tomorrow nobody as a project manager blame you for that you don't have a written communication. In real life it happens, right? Many times when in requirements you don't have a formal communication, then the client says, I have never told this requirement, did I say? So it happens. It's on the political front also, it's very safe to keep a formal written communication for the important things, documents. Then there is a formal verbal communication, your presentations, your speeches, your trainings, those kind of. Then informal written, which can be a email, it can be a text message, instant messaging. Nowadays people use WhatsApp, and the Facebook sometimes, to just an informal message. Then there is a informal verbal, like you have a meetings, you have a conversations. So these are informal verbal messages. So I want you to test yourself. What is the best type of communication in the following situation? Whenever you are updating the project management plan, what could be the best situation? It could be a formal written one, because project management plan is very essential to the project. Then giving presentation to the management, what could be the best situation? It should be formal verbal, because whenever you are presentation to the management, you are getting approval of resources, you are getting approval of the budgets, then it has to be definitely formal, because at the end it is your senior management who decides everything, strategic decisions. Then try to solve a complex problem, it has to be formal written, because if the solution which has been given, if it is not written, then you will get into a politically blame games. Then making notes regarding a telephone conversation, it should be a informal written. Then making changes to a contract, definitely what should be, whenever it is touched upon contract, it has to be formal written, because a contract or your PM, project management plan, these are very very crucial documents of your project. It can never be in the verbal level. Informing a team member of poor performance is, it has to be, if it is a first time, it has to be on the informal verbal, because you can't write and spoil his or her career. Then informing a team member of poor performance on second notice, if he is indisciplined, if he is not doing the work on regular basis, it has to be formal written so that you can talk to your HR management and take actions. Then scheduling a meeting, that should be a informal written. Clarifying a work package, it should be a formal written, because at the end the team members look up to you as a project manager, as a technical expert, so you need to be clarifying it on a very formal basis so that again, it should not become a political blame games within the team. Requesting additional resources, definitely formal written, because in bigger organization there is always, there is a challenge of getting good resources, and there is always there is a tough game of getting good people on the board and good amount of people on the board, so it should be a formal written. Trying to discover the root cause of a problem, it should be informal verbal, because at the end, if you are going to find out the root cause and becoming formal, then it complicates the matter. Sending an email to ask for clarification of an issue, it can be an informal written. Then holding a milestone party, it should be definitely informal verbal. Then conducting a bidder conference, it should be a formal verbal. So this is a kind of idea you will get, that these are the kind of examination questions you will get.